Okay, good morning, students. I welcome you to the today's session. Today's session is on hashes in Ruby. Okay. In the last class, we learned the concepts on how to use the if conditions, how to use the for in loop, which are the different functions what we can use in the arrays to do the particular task, like whether you need to sort or whether you need to rearrange, you need to shift. So all these things, all the different functions we learned in the yesterday class. Okay, in the today's class we are going to discuss on hashes, and what the assignment I gave you in the last class, most of you are going to submit it, and few are still not at submit, and very few are there till now they are not submitted a single assignment also. That I don't need to remind your names, because you only know that which are the assignments submitted by you and which are not, and who is not submitted, not even a single assignment. That is up to you, because I have that list. I'm just going through with that. Once if the HOD or in the college they ask how many of your students submitted their assignment, in the sense I will submit that. So make sure that you have submitted your assignment, because be prompt for yourself whether you have submitted your assignments or not. And I have everything in my WhatsApp, what the outputs you have sent. That based on that only I'm going to submit the report. It is not the kind you need to work for the report only, in the sense whether I'm going to report that for the HOD or for that sake, you don't need to work. Okay, you work this for to learn the new concepts. Okay, be prompt in that way. Okay, HOD will scold, or the principal may ask you why you are not submitted, like that. If you that have in your mind, keeping that in mind, don't do your assignments. Do your assignments promptly, in the way like I want to learn some new languages or some new concepts in new languages. Keeping that in mind, and you work with the program, and complete your assignments. Simply blankly don't upload any friend's assignment, or anybody's shared assignments. You don't share again, because I can easily make out that whose assignment is this, and who is again submitting the same assignment back to me. So don't do that. Because it is up to you how seriously you are going to take for yourself. There is nothing lost for me. It's anything is going to be lost, it's a loss for you only. So do your assignments. Whoever sent the assignment, excellent. I appreciate really your work, because you took some initiation and do on your own, like reading the values and reading giving the range of percentage. One thing I want to share, what I observed is some of you are still giving a single value for judging the percentage. Like if percentage is 75, make it as a distinction or first class, like that. You have not mentioned the range. Even I forgot that how to give the range in the if condition. In the if condition, giving the range is very simple. Make sure of giving the dots. Like for example, when if you want to give the range from like 70 to 85 is the range of first class. If you want to mention, make that when 75 dot to 85, or 70 to 85, like that you give the range. Okay, those are not worked on the range. If in this condition, if you mentioned only a single value, make sure that make that by using the dot operators to give the range, like 70 to 85. If you want to give the range, 75 dot 80 or 85, 70 to 85, like that you can give your range. Keep that in mind, and work on that. You can resubmit your assignments if you work that, or else who have not submitted, make sure that you are going to do this in your assignment. Okay, with that, now I will share my screen. I will start today's session. Before starting the session, if anybody have any doubts, if you want to ask me, please raise your hand, Well, so today we'll start discussing on if you have anybody doubts, if you stop me right now and unmute your mic and ask me the doubts, or else I will go with the today's topic. Anybody have doubts? And the good thing is most of you installed Ruby and started working on your assignments. That's a good thing. So those are not submitted assignments, submit it as early as possible. That shows how the interest you have on the subject and how serious you on the studies. Okay. Yes, with this note, I will start the today's session. I will share the screen now. Okay. So now we are going to see the topic hashes in Ruby. In the previous class, we worked on the arrays and we got some knowledge on arrays, how to use the arrays in the hashes. Sorry, in the Ruby. Coming back in the hashes is nothing but a new concept. It is same as like an array, but we call this as an associative array. Okay. Associative array in the sense the array which have the information like both the keys and the values that we already discussed in the PHP. What are keys and what are values while doing your first lab program. So there we learned what are the key values, keys, and what are the values in the array. An array which is associated with the value and the keys, then we call that as associative arrays. This associative arrays we call as hashes in Ruby. Okay, in PHP we learned that as just like hashes. Okay, that is what associative arrays are arrays in which each data element is paired with key, which is used to identify the data element. Every element is paired with key, and that key will refer to the particular data element. Okay, so for that purpose we use the associative arrays, or we call it as hashes in Ruby. Okay, coming back. Because hashes functions are used both to create and to find a specific element in associative arrays. Associative arrays often called hashes. What we call associative arrays in other languages, the same associative arrays we call here as the hashes. But there is a difference between the arrays and hashes. When we compare this arrays and hashes, you may get a doubt like, sir, when we have arrays, again we are learning the associative arrays in the other name called hashes. Is there any difference? If you have a doubt like this, then there are two fundamental differences between the arrays and hashes. First one is arrays use numeric subscript to address the specific element. Like, for example, if I take here in the array, in the set 1, what we have an array 2 4 6 8. If I want to access the first element, I want to access as set 1 in the bracket as 0, the numeric values. Using the numeric values, I can access the elements in the array. Like the element, to access the element, I need to use 0 1 2 3 subscripts. Okay, to access the elements of this array, we need to use a numeric subscript to access the element. We call it as array subscripts. Array subscript for this array is 0 1 2 3. If I ask set 1 of 0, it will return 2. Set 1 of 1, it will return 4. Set 1 of 2, it will return 6. Set 1 of 3, it will return 8. Okay, like that we use the numeric numbers to in the subscript to address the particular elements in the arrays. But in the hashes we use keys. In the hashes we use keys to address the particular element. I will show you what is that key and what is the element. Keeping that mind, here we use the keys instead of numeric values. The first difference between the arrays and hashes. And the second difference is the elements in arrays are ordered by subscript. In the arrays, all the elements are arranged in the order of the subscript values, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that, it is going to be arranged. But whereas in the hashes, the elements are not arranged like that. It will arranged based on how the values are inserted by the user. Okay. That is the main difference. First difference is the numeric values are used in arrays to access the elements, but hashes we use keys. In the hashes we use keys. That is the first difference. In the second difference is the elements are ordered according to the subscript, where in the arrays. In the arrays we can see the elements are arranged in order with the subscript values. Okay, but in the hashes there is no arrangement like based on the subscript or based on the key values, the values are not arranged. It will be randomized. We can however we want an elements, we can access the element or we can add the element to the hashes. Okay, now let's see how to create an hashes. Okay, here, okay, here we can see how the hashes are going to be created. Like how we created arrays in the two ways by using the array keyword or array class, or and another one is directly by creating the values, like that. In the two ways we have created the arrays. Similarly, in the hashes also we have the two ways to creating the hashes. Very first thing, I want to create the hash in the sense, see, I will take a variable kids age. Okay, I will take a kids age. In the kids age, see, John 41. I think these are not kids because its age is 41. Just take it as friends age instead of kids ages. I'll take it as a friends ages because all these ages are not ages of kids. So let's we call this as ages of friends. So John is 41 and Jenny is 39, Jake is 25, and Darcy is 24. Here, these John, Jenny, Jake, and the Darcy are the keys. Okay, all these are keys. What the names, the friends' names, we call it as the keys, and their ages are values. 41, 39, 25, 24. These are the values. This is the difference. Here, each value is accessed by its key. Each value is accessed by its key. Okay, like that, you can create your own hashes. So here it is, each value is associated. See, this key is associated with value. John is a key, 41 is the value. Jenny is the key, 39 is the value. Jake is the key, 25 is the value. Like that, so on. Okay. So this is what we call as hash. This is what we call as hash. This is one way of creating the hash. Okay. Then hashes returned by Ruby is not in the same order in the hash literals used to create the hash. So when you create the hashes, it is not going to be the same. It is going to be changed according to its methods. This is because the actual order of hash is in memory is unpredictable. See, however you save the values in the hashes, all these values will not be predicted according to the memory, because hashes will use the random memories to store all these values. So you cannot see any particular order of having a particular values in a specific key or a specific values, like that. So it randomly it is going to be order the values in the hashes. Okay. This is one way of creating the hashes. I will show you the both the ways. I will show you how to create the hashes. See, this is one way. Directly by giving the keys and the values, you can create the hashes. The another one is we can start creating class, that is a hash.new. See here, I am going to create a my hash is equal to hash.new. It will create an empty hash like this in the flower bracket. Flower bracket indicates this is the hash. Later you can add the values to this particular hashes. So once you can create the empty hash, later you can start adding the values to that particular hashes. That is what we are going to create the hashes in the second way. Okay, I will just show you. I will just run the program how to do this. See here, I will take friends is equal to, I'm going to create an hash now. The hash is friends, or else I will just, to make a difference, I will take hashes hash one. So this is the first hash one. Hash one is equal to, I'm going to create the hashes. While creating the hashes, you use the flower brace. This is the same. The first way of creating the hash, give the variable name hash1 is equal to flower brace. Open and close the flower brace. Inside this, you call the friend's name. Like you can take the kid's age or whatever you want. You can take the values. Okay. Or else I will take the faculty and the subject name. I will take. Okay. How to assign? See, this is the key. For this key, I'm going to assign the values. Subject 3, I think the the third subject I'm going to handle, and MHT is going to handle the first subject. The subject orders, whichever the subject is going to handle, that subject is going to be mentioned here, and RSP. Like this, you can create the values, and here he handle the subject, second subject. See the three subjects we have, and like this, you can create the hashes. MJ and create the hashes. Yeah, and the value is 4. Okay, like this, an hash is created. So in this, the faculty initials are the keys, and the numbers are the subject ID. Assume that subject ID. Subject 1 is handled by MHT. Subject 2 is handled by RSP. Like that. Okay. So this is how we create an hashes. In the hashes, now you observe what are the keys and what are the values. I want to check the keys and its value. Hash, in the hash of Arun. What is the value of this particular key? What is the value of this particular key? If I give like this,
Sir, hash 1.
hash no, hash one, hash one of is returning. What is the value in that particular key? See, this is the hash and this is the key. In the hash for this key, what is the value we have? See, what is the value I stored for that particular key? It is 3. Similarly, what you can give? You can check all the values. MHT. Okay. If I check the values, MHT is 1. See, by giving the particular key, you can access the value. So now you understood what is the key and what is the value. Okay. In the hashes, we create the hashes by giving the key values and keys and the values. Key and the value. So this is how the hashes are created. Here the two values are associated, so we call this as associative arrays. Here we call this as associative array. Why we call this as associative array? In the sense, here it is associated with the two values. One is the key and another one is value. That is the difference between arrays. In the array, each values are addressed or each values are accessed through its subscript values. In the arrays, how we can see array, in the array, if I want to access this 3, we'll give array of 0. Array of 0 is 3. Array of 1 is 1, array of 2 is 2, array of 3 is 4. And that is the difference. There we use numeric subscript. That is the difference. There we use the numeric subscript. Here we can use either the numeric subscript or the, that is the difference between hashes. Okay, so this is how we can create the hashes in one way. The hash 2 I will create. Hash 2 is equal to hash dot new. Hash 2 is equal created like this. Later we can add the values for this particular arrays. How the values can be added for this particular arrays? Hash 2 of yeah, like Arun is equal to I think syntax is gone wrong. I'll just check the syntax. Yeah. Yes. This is the syntax hash 2. I want to add the elements for hash 2 now because initially hash 2 was null. Now I added the value for the hash 2. The first value is Arun is equal to 20. Now I will check hash 2. Now in the hash 2 it was initially it was empty. Now I have added the value Arun is equal to 20. Okay. Like this you can keep on adding the values to the to this array, like Sono is equal to 2. Now I can I have added the one more value to my array like this. Arrays in the hashes we started adding the values separately. So this is the two ways. The first way is hash 1. You can directly give the values like keys and the key value, keys and key values. Like this you can create your hash 1, the creating the hashes in the first method. In the second method, what you can do is create the new hash like this. Hash 2 is equal to hash dot new, and empty hashes will be created. For this empty hash, you can start adding the values. You can start adding the values. How the values are going to be add? Hash 2, key, give the key name, and is equal to value. Give the key and its value. Then immediately it goes to adds that particular value to the hashes. Then in the hash you can see Arun is equal to 20. I added one more value to my hash, Sonu is equal to 2. So when I check that the hash, you can see Arun is equal to 20, Sonu is equal to 2. Like this, you can keep on adding the values in the hashes. Okay, you can keep on adding values in the hashes. So that is how you can create the hashes. So that is what I showed you till now. Hashes can be created like this, the first method, and hashes can be created like this also by using hash.new. An empty hash will come, and for that empty hash you can add the values like this. You can add the values like this. Like this you can create your own hashes, and even you can delete the particular item in the hashes. You can delete the particular item in the hashes like this by using the keyword called delete, and specify the key value. So hash name dot delete is the keyword, and specify the which particular key element you want to delete. This is how you can delete the hash. See, I will show you that. Right now I have the hash 1. I have a hash in the hash 1. I have AKL, MHT, RSP, and AMJ. If I want to delete any particular values, then what I can do, I can specify first hash 1 delete. In the delete, which element I want to delete. In the delete, I want to delete AKL. See, in this, I am going to delete the AKL. See, AKL was having a the three. Now I will show you the hash. Yes, in the hash, my initial is deleted. See, initially, my initial was there. AKL is equal to 3, is equal to 1, RS is equal to 2, AMJ is equal to 4. Now I have deleted one element from my hash. How to delete one element from the hash? Hash one dot delete AKL. Okay. Give the particular key element. You can delete any element in the hash. Now I can delete the mid element of my hash, like hash one dot. Okay. Now if you check the array, sorry, if we check the hash, so you can see the two elements, MHT and AMJ left out. So you can see like this. Initially, it was complete hash. The four names were there, four initials were there. Now I deleted the first name. Next, I deleted the one more name. So now I left out with only the two initials. You can delete the elements of an arrays. You can just delete the elements of an array. Values into the hashes, and this is how you can delete the hashes. Now, if the hashes is the completely with the total values, I can delete all the hash values. I can immediately clear the hash values. How we can clear the hash values is, see, if you created a hash like this, around the hash ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, just give the hash is equal to empty flower braces. It will clear all your hashes. This is a one method, or else you can give dot clear. It will clear all the hashes. The two ways. Either you can call your hash name is equal to empty braces. This is the first method, and the second method is hash name dot clear. Okay, I will just give the demo on this. See, right now what I have in my hash one. In the hash one, I have MHT and AMG. The two values are there. What I will do, I will clear the hash one. How I can clear the hash one? Hash one is equal to open and close the flower. All this hash one is equal to open and closing flower brace. Now, see, it will give open hash one. Previously, definition of hash one was there, and it is clear. Now, hash one is empty. Initially, it was having a two values. What I did, hash one is equal to empty flower braces. Then it clear all the values in my in the hashes. So now hash one is empty. So this is the first way of clearing the hashes. And the second way is I have the hash two. In the hash two, there are two names again. So I can clear the hash two like this. Hash two dot clear. Hash two dot clear. This is the another way to clear your hash 2. Now hash 2 is also clear. So here we learned the two methods of clearing the hashes. The first method is hash 1 is braces of closing of flowering brace, empty flower brace for a hash. It will clear all the hashing values or hashed values. And the second method is give the hash name and dot clear. Use the keyword hash 2 dot clear. Use this command, you can clear the hashes. Oh, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine. I was showing some example over here. Yes. In this case, yes, in how to create the local variables. The local variables are nothing but the variables what we create inside the program or inside the method that we call as the local variables. And all the local variables are assigning along with its objects. The local variables are created in the method by assigning an object to it. And as well as the local variables must be in the lowercase or in the it should start with an underscore. Either it can begin with a lowercase or with an underscore. Okay, like this we can create the local variables. Beyond that, local variables can names can have either the letters, digits, or underscores. Like that, you can create the local variables. You can see the example here, actual parameters and the formal parameters. What the actual parameter is and what the formal parameter, I will just tell you. The parameters, the parameter value that appears in the call to a method are called actual parameters.
So screen share again.
Okay, sorry. Yes. So this is what local variables, as I already told you. Now coming back to the parameters. In the parameters, we have two types of parameters: actual parameters and the formal parameters. The parameter values that appear in a call to a method are called actual parameters, and the parameter name used in a method which correspond to actual parameter are called formal parameters. See here, I will show you what the actual parameters and what the formal parameters are. Here, these side 1 and side 2 are the formal parameters which receives the values while we calling the function. And what the value we specify for this side 1 and side 2, that we call it as the actual parameters. I have an example. I will show you that example. Yes. Look at here, swapping of two numbers. Swapping of two numbers, we have a function. See how we write the function by using a def keyword, definition keyword def swap. This is the function name, and we use the formal parameters a and b. And a is equal to a plus b is equal to a minus b, a is equal to a minus b. This is how we use the swapping of elements. Then I will print the values after swapping. Then before was calling a swapping function, I assign the values for a and b. A is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. When I assign the values, a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, I need to show that before swapping what are the values we have for a and b. This will display a as a is having a 10 and b is having a 20. Now I am calling the values. Now I am calling the function swap ab. Here we need to observe is this a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. This we call as actual parameters. This we call as actual parameters. And the parameters what we are calling this a, b, what we are going to pass, we call this as formal parameters. This we call as formal parameters. Okay. Like this, we are calling the actual parameters and the formal parameters. When I call this function, immediately the control moves to the function. In the function, it swaps the a and b and it returns the value. So here, what the thing we need to observe is how to define a function. The keywords are def and end. Def is the beginning of the function, end is the ending of the function, and swap is the function name, and this a and b are formal parameters. And these are all the method statements, sequence statements, or the method statements, or these are all the statements which are inside my method. And this is how we create a method, complete method. This is how we are going to create a complete method. And to call this method, I need to create an actual parameter. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. Now I display a statement and I call a function. When I call this function, the program control will move to the function and it swaps the elements of A and B and it displays the values. After swapping, the A will have the 20 and B will have the value 10. Okay. The statement while printing the variable is hash flower brace A hash flower brace B in the put statement that we already learned in the last class. Now I will run this program and I will show you how to run the particular program. Okay. See, yes, hashes. The hashes we have. Okay. So I think what is the program name? Yes. Now you can see the swapping. Before swapping, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. After swapping, A is equal to 20 and B is equal to 10. We can see the swapping of two numbers, a simple program by using the Ruby and particularly by using the function. How to write the function for swapping of two elements? Like first create an actual parameters like A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, print that value and call a function. In the function, write a function like beginning with a function def and end of the function using the end keyword. Write a function name and give the formal parameters. Inside, you write a code to swap the elements of A and B and print the value of A and B. This will show you the swapping of two elements, a simple program. Okay, this is how you can use the hashes and in the how to use the functions in the hashes. This is how we can make use of how to use the functions in the hashes. Like that, you can create the square root and cube root of the particular elements. If I want to check the square root, you can write the square root, or if you want to check the cube root, you can make a cube root. In the simple by reading a value, you can check the square root and cube root of given values. Okay, you can take that assignment like how to swap two numbers that I have only show you. Write a simple program to two simple functions for checking one square root and one cube root. Just read a value and call the two functions. First function is to check the square root. Second function is to check the cube root. A simple function, simple program by using the two functions. That you can make it as your assignment. Those who are interested, you can submit your assignment so that you can get the interest on the new programming languages. Okay, that shows how interested you are on the particular programming languages. Take this as an assignment, as an hobby assignments, and you can submit your assignment for me by calculating the square root and the cube root of given values. Those who are not submitted the earlier assignment, you merge these two, check the result as well as check the square root and the cube. Yeah. Yes, Ashwini, tell me.
ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಸರ್, ಏನು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಈಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬೆನ್ಸ್.
ಓಕೆ, ಹಲೋ, ಈಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
ಬೆಟರ್.
ಓಕೆ, ಬೆಟರ್. ನೀವು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನ ವೈಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಟೈಮ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅನ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. Calculate the square root and the cube root for the given number. Write two simple functions for calculating the square root as well as calculating the cube root, and you can submit your assignment. And those who are not submitted your assignment, the earlier assignment, that is the PUC grade, whether the first class, second class, and fail, for that assignment itself, we can merge this. Those who are still not submitted the earlier assignment, make these two in the same program, like checking the grade, PUC grade, as well as the square root and the cube root. Merge these two and submit your assignment. Okay. By this, I will stop now because time is up. we have the next class. So I will stop now. I will continue in the next class. In the next class, I will go with the classes, how to create the classes and how the objects are creating in the Ruby. That we are going to discuss in the next class by tomorrow. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the WhatsApp or you can directly call me. Fine. I will wind up the class now. Thank you for joining the class, students.